And we're gonna do a little bit of work to this truck here, just do a little bit of inspection. One thing that I noticed when you're cruising slowly in first gear, there seems to be like a grinding sound coming from the back somewhere. I'm not exactly sure what that is. So I'm gonna jack up the back of this truck and put it into gear. We're gonna see if that's coming from a differential, or maybe the brake calipers or the brake shoes are dragging or something. Let's check that out. I think that this jacking like that. It might roll off of there. Oh, it's heavy. Is it 3 ton heavy? Okay, well, wheels are off the ground. Let's start her up. Keys. Don't know. It keeps doing that thing. I figured out that crank no start issue. It's this. This connection right here is not connecting great, and that's got to be the fuel. Let's put it into gear here and see if we hear that grind in here. So we're gonna put it into low. Alright. I think the wheels are touching somewhere. Wheels look off the ground. I don't know. It sounded like it was trying to push the truck. I don't see it touching anywhere. Let's go a little higher, maybe. That's like barely on there. It's just teeter-tottering. Low. Okay. Those brake drums are grabbing. Look at that. Be careful because we don't want us to fall off the jack. Alright. That wheel's not spinning. So that brake drum's got to be grabbing somewhere. We're going to see if we can fix that. Alright, let's put that there. Put that on the ground. Let's get a socket. Right, let's see if this Craftsman impact here, got a good old Craftsman impact. Let's see if that has what it takes to take these lug nuts off. It's about the only extension I have. I know that's not impact rated, but whatever. Let's see, what do you think? Is this gonna have what it takes to remove these? Or are we gonna have to get a breaker bar? Take your bets now. I don't know. It ain't going. Maybe if we get rid of this extension. Let's try that. Okay. Without the extension on it, it does. That's important to know. Don't ever put these on backwards. That conical shape of the lug nut actually is self-aligning. So I've been pretty impressed with that Craftsman. You know what? It's got some torque to it, so I can't hate on it. Obviously, everybody has things to say about Craftsman, but you know what? At the price point, and it's been working for me, so we'll keep using it till we can. All right. Got to make sure you're being safe when you're doing this. I don't think it's gonna roll or anything. Let's jack it up. Let's get some tire. Let's get some jack stands under there. That makes sense why there's like a grinding noise when you're cruising at slow speeds. That brake drum's got to be dragging. Careful, careful, careful! Ain't gonna be under there too long, so get a little bit more length out of that. Careful, don't let the truck fall on your head. It's gonna sink a little bit into the stones, but it should be fine. A bit higher, maybe. Maximum length. Should be good. Let's try this on. Okay, slowly let that down. What do you think? You gonna hold? She tight. Crushing some rocks. Should put a piece of wood under those jack stands or something, but I think it'll be all right. All right, it's got it. Put that jack nice and tight up on there. All right. Now, give her the old rock test here. We don't want this thing to all right, I think that's good. Just don't go under there too much. Pop these lug nuts off of here. A little tight. Tires look good though. I like these. Like kind of like mud all-terrain tires or something. Oh God. Well, let's put a bar in there and see what the resistance looks like on that. That's very tight. I don't know. Just got to be careful under here. You don't want this thing slipping off. This will kill you so fast. But I can't spin that at all. So, not good. What the hell? It's actually dangerous to do that. Don't let your hand spin around on those threads, because if there's a little splinter, you'll get a splinter. But it's hard to remember. Alright, now we should be able to get this axle out of there, so let's pull that out. Okay, we're looking alright there. Put this up here, we don't want that getting too dirty. Alright, now there should be some kind of locking system in here. What do we got? Huh. Can't really see in there. Okay, there's like a snap ring. Snap ring here. Now I'm not exactly set up the best here. We don't want to lose any of this or get it too dirty. And I think that there's a locking pin here, so let's see if we can grab that. This can get dangerous. Not dangerous, but it can mess you up. You don't want to drop that anywhere you need that. This is going to be difficult to get that out, but this little square piece of metal right here has got to come out, so there's not much to grab onto. If you can see right there, there's a square piece of metal. That's got to come out. I'm trying to get it with some needle nose pliers here, but exactly easy. And just picking at it, I think I got it. Ah, there you go. Look at that. That holds that on there. Don't lose that. That wouldn't be bad. Okay, now we got to get that nut off of there. So let's try that. Just flathead screwdriver here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. It's coming. You can see that or not? Okay. Don't lose that either. Alright, we got that nut off of there. So this brake drum should slide off of here, but it can be. Now, just keep in mind how dangerous this is, okay? We got the jack stands, they're sitting on the rocks. Obviously, now I do feel comfortable under here, but I'm keeping in mind not to be under here. For if any reason I'm pulling on here, if this were to slip off, boom, this thing's coming right here, and it will kill you. So, I'm not. Give it a little pat. It will kill you. There is no doubt about that. Make sure we clean those before we put them in. So, just stay out of the way while you try to pull it off. Oh. All right. Look at that. We got the brake drum off. We're gonna clean this up. Let's see how we're looking here. Now, these shoes are not looking great. Look how much cracking. We got a lot of cracking. It's just from heat and repeated use, but I don't see any leaking through the cylinders here, which is good. Let's check this one. That one doesn't look as bad. These should be replaced for sure. Need just the shoes. Everything else on the brakes looks fine from here, but we're not gonna do that right now just because I don't have the parts. We got a little bit of braking right there, looks like some brake. And look at that. I don't know if you can see a better angle, but that's been dragging right there. It's dragging there, and that's about it. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just adjust these. I'm gonna bring these in slightly. Bring those in slightly. This is your adjustment right here. Little start bolt, so. But pretty soon we are going to replace these. I'm not going to do it now. I'm just going to adjust them so that we're not dragging constantly while we're driving down the road. And I think that'll solve that issue, that grinding noise. We're going to turn it one way and see if that's going in or if that's going out. You can see it moving. They don't look too bad. I mean, they still got some life in them. I would replace them, but I think they'll last a little bit longer. And I don't want to go out and buy shoes right now. How's that looking? Alright. We'll be able to tell if it's in the right spot or not. Hey, yo, that motherfucker. Hey, man. Yeah. Okay. Same thing. Can this kill you? Can this kill me? Ask that. Always ask that. Oh. Ah, motherfucker. It's heavy as shit. And we don't want to knock those bearings out of there either. Well, I don't think that's all the way on. It is dragging. I think that's good, actually. Alright, this is the sketchy part, because now I'm under the truck. If this does slip off, you are screwed. I can't see the star with the thing through there. I think it is dragging. I think that's good. Make sure you don't get any contamination in there. Yeah, that's good. You can tell it should just barely drag onto there. So okay, yeah, we don't want to fuck this up. I'm gonna remember to put these parts in here. But where does this go? I believe it goes this way. Does it, or does it go this way? That and this. Oh. Don't forget that nut. That would not be good. Still in there. Inspect that. Make sure there's no dirty on there. Look at that. It won't destroy anything, but you know what? It's just gonna make it not as good. Even if, you know, it wouldn't hurt to spray that down with some carb cleaner, some brake cleaner. Spin it around so it lines up. There we go. Alright, now we can put that back together. Everyone, can this kill me? Yes, it can. Oh, okay. One thing that I cannot stand is people that rush around and act crazy when you're working on cars and get all aggravated and start, oh. Because at the end of the day, this stuff's so dangerous. You got to be thinking about every single move you make. And people will put you into dangerous situations. They try to act like that. I just had to deal with somebody. I had to walk away from a job because I had somebody acting like that next to me. And I just seen it going in a bad direction, which I do not want to be a part of. But, okay. I'll show you on these. You always put the conical side towards, because this is literally what self-aligns everything. But yeah, I mean, working on cars, I mean, the forces that are involved in the things you need to do sometimes just can be very dangerous. So don't rush, take your time, make sure you're safe, because the last thing you want to do is get your head pinched between two pieces of fucking metal, because you ain't gonna be walking away from that happy. You can always double, triple check, but once something happens, you can't go back, so. Make sure my chickens don't eat my motor oil there. Ouchie. This one's rolling. I don't even think that needs adjustment. I ain't even gonna look at it. Let's start her up. Alright, we're gonna put her in low. Still going on here. Look at that. I wonder what that is. Alright. Got that a little bit more adjusted. I just used this flathead screwdriver to go in through that port and manually turn that from the back. So let's try that and see if that made a difference. Big deal. That's rolling a lot better. It is naturally going to send the power more to one wheel. But that's rolling a whole of a lot better. Let's throw it in reverse and see what happens. Spin now. Now be careful because it's in gear. I think it's in gear or it's just spinning. Now since it's just spinning, but be careful not being in this while it's in gear. If this thing were to fall off the jack stands and there's good traction and I'm not in the car, it's just gonna drive into you know, it's just gonna drive straight forward into my chicken coop and beyond. So yeah, that's totally good now. Once you hold this, it's slight resistance. Distributor or the differential is going to send power to the wheel with the least resistance, and that's good. Got it jacked up. I might as well just chuck it. All right, we need a 3/8 inch drive for that right there. Now, I would imagine that this is going to be pretty taut. Nothing's coming out. I don't know if that's a magnet or not. Let's get a little stick here. Alright, I think we are low. How you check this? Just get a little stick. Something like this. And we're gonna put that right in that hole. Till we touch a little. It should be ideally right at the bottom of those threads. So definitely some oil in there. And you want to stick that's substantial enough that it ain't gonna break off in there. That ain't gonna be fun. You break a stick off in there. Get any loose shit off of there. Okay. It's not that low. It's right there. Yeah. Can use a little. Okay. Okay. Pump some red and tacky into there. Hopefully these take grease. Oh. Okay. That's the issue. I might have to stick a wire down in there. Hopefully I can just push through it. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. That's good. I need to get a flexible hose for this. Now it's taken. All right, that's good. All right. I guess that there was another fuel tank on here at one point. Somebody blocked off, that's fine. Let's see if that dragging noise is gone. Grinding, dragging noise. And I think it is gone. Usually when you were driving about this speed, you would hear it scrape. It go. Not hearing that now. All right, well, you know what? Without even having to look at this, I already know without a doubt that there is a fuel pump in that tank. So I don't have to pull that open, because even if I pulled it open and found out that there is a fuel pump in that tank, I'm not going to do anything about it right now. It's not working. But how do I know? Well, obviously we got two other fuel lines right here, so we can assume that there was another fuel tank on this side of the truck. We also know that because inside the cab we have a fuel tank selector switch. So obviously if you can switch between two different fuel tanks, that means that there's an electronic fuel pump in the tank. Now there's also a mechanical fuel pump on the block, and that's what's doing your primary fuel pumping action right now. Not great to have that. Obviously that pump's working a little bit harder. You want something to pull the gas from the gas or the diesel from the tank. Prime these lines should be driven by the battery to that fuel pump down there. But right now just that fuel pump is doing all the fuel pumping action. So we will take a look at that in the future. We'll probably replace that, but just looking at these different you know, the different things on this truck, I can tell you that without having to take it apart that there is one in there. It makes perfect sense. So we're not going to do anything about that right now. It seems to be starting up and driving okay just on the one. But in the future we are going to replace that, just so that we don't only have to rely on that pump. So more you know.